indigenous materials. I think it's the most fantastic house.
Oh, it's a huge honour. It's a huge honour anywhere to represent your country, but to be able to do that in Washington with the trust of the Prime Minister and the Foreign Secretary at a really important time in Britain's development as a nation, I have to say I'm slightly overwhelmed, but I am really, really looking forward to it.
That's right. Where the view is very different.
And the atmosphere.
Donald Trump wanted a man called Nigel Farage. Instead, he's getting a woman career diplomat with a formidable reputation. Is he going to take his disappointment out on you, do you think?
I don't think so. I've met the President a number of times, sometimes with the Prime Minister, sometimes with the Security Council. He's been gracious. We've had a good discussion, sometimes about the economy, sometimes about security issues. So I think the President and I, to the extent that it's me, not the Prime Minister, I think we'll be talking about the issues.
The President is from New York, and I think that does matter. There hasn't been, I think
I think the point about America is it's really a land of opportunity. That's what it's always been known as. And now we've left the European Union, I want to find out those new opportunities and exploit them, use them, develop them for the benefit of the UK, but also for the benefit of America, and hopefully find ways also to have more people-to-people links as we do that. But the world is changing. There's a whole swathe of new areas like science, artificial intelligence, cyber, and what we want to do is renew the very traditional security and economic partnership we have with America over very many decades for all these new areas.
Well, that's really important. And it's got some beautiful sculptures.
And how do you handle Donald Trump, who trash-talked your predecessor, Kim Darroch, and hounded him out of his job? Are you at all nervous?
Oh, I think one would always be nervous at meeting head of state. That would be only natural, but I've been lucky enough to meet the President a few times now. The President has always been gracious and friendly. I look forward to having discussions with him about all those areas that we both care about, both our countries care about so much.
Donald Trump and Boris Johnson this week, the President apparently apoplectic over Britain's decision on Huawei.
There are areas where we disagree. There are some areas where we disagree quite deeply, but I don't think that affects the overall health of the relationship. And you referred earlier to my first time in Washington. That was in the early 1990s, when we had a very big gulf between the United States and Europe over the issue of Bosnia and the Balkans War. And that was a very fundamental rift that did leak into all different aspects of relations. I'm not seeing that now. Obviously, I will do my best to put the British point of view across and do my best to narrow differences. But I think it's also about exploiting opportunities for both America and for Britain in this relationship.
Way forward on Huawei, the Prime Minister's made a number of offers.
And if you take something like the creative industries, we export something like over $100 million, some estimates say $200 million, to the United States. We don't just export British villains. So I think that's an area to really push forward on.
That's right. Where the view is very different.
For female diplomats?
Well, I have a number of female colleagues. So I have a female colleague in Moscow, a female colleague in Beijing. As you say, I've been in New York, and now I'm going to Washington. So we're not there yet, but I think we're well on the way.
Apartment blocks, some of which are new since